Hello, amigo. Eve Gardens one on Instagram. And this is your Thursday episode of the Weed Nerd World. Hopefully, you guys have had a great week, very prosperous week. Hopefully, everything moved forward for you in a great way. What's up, Marshall? Get the first to get your eyes on the new digs. Get the chat popped out over here. What up? Missing you, brother. How you been? Back to city life. Man, I said I'd never fucking do it, but fucking here I am, back to the city. What's up, Mrs. Justin's Meds, growing my life away. Miranda Family Hot Farms in the house. And this got the facial tracking camera now. Well, doesn't do work that good. It works. What's up, Craig babies? The new place is good. Kind of ironic. Everything that I was seeking that I went to the blueberry farm to kind of get, I landed here with the garage, the workspace, the possible area to grow. As long as we keep things on the up and up, we're good. Those of you in the Genesee County area that might have a refrigerator, stove that you'd like to off for a decent price, let me know. Thank you. What's up? What's up, Big Jar Groves, Mad Dog, Pizza Pirate, plus else? Telescope your anus, J5420. Miss Nikki, how are you doing? Miss Angel in the background there. You got food over there. I don't know if it's gonna keep following my face or it might just. Oh, there she is. Let's see if he's following me. All right. All right. I do not have a cameraman. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Working pretty good though. Maybe some just you know. Now it's just got your face, my face, my my show, my show. Good. Mr. Smiley popping in. We kill the music. Oh,
What up,
good
man?
thing. Smiley. There we go. What's up, bro?
Not too much. How you doing?
Pretty good. Trying to get used to
Got the new
this.
place, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Trying to get somewhat situated. Half the shit here, half the shit in Soho there. But it's weird. It's
Okay.
way more room. I ended up with way more room than I needed.
That's a blessing, man. Oh yeah.
That man, that's
Things are looking up.
see? It's slowly but surely, yes, sir. It's
Yep.
actually supposed to start work here today, tomorrow, yesterday, yesterday.
That's good. I'm starting my night new one on Monday, so
I think I'm gonna be doing siding for a minute. A little like hardy board, lap siding type shit.
yeah.
But eh, there's there's it's whatever. I don't mind that work, and it's work, right? So
Yeah, damn right. I need a paycheck.
that's right. New house
Hard to do
equals
hard to do much of anything
your
without a
paycheck.
paycheck.
Yeah, right. Cheers, Cheddar Bob and Chet. In a minute. Yeah, it's yeah, fucking yeah, the garage. I got a 30 by 40 block garage.
Oh yeah.
So it's
That's good size, dude.
yeah. I was out there looking. I'm like, this little section here is going to be the treadmill. I think I might put a tent right there. I got room for my wood stuff right here.
Yeah, that's funny. I
There's
see
room.
Cheddar Bob in chat. I remember when he moved too, he was all had it all planned out. Shit. This is gonna go
Oh,
here, this is gonna go there.
I've been walking around going, I don't know what the fuck to do with it. I honestly don't know where I'm going to put what, or but it's nice to have that option. You know what I'm saying? I had this option has not been in a minute. So
Sound like you
yeah,
can set your woodworking shop up again.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, yeah, it's wild. Everything that I was hoping to get, I'm there now. So
Badass.
nice little yard, fenced in yard with the dogs there for the dogs. So
Yeah, that's a plus, man, having something fenced in.
downside,
Yeah,
downside.
you let them out and not have to worry about them running off or whatever.
Downside to all of it though is I'm right fucking back into. I didn't buy. I'm back renting Cheddar Bob. I'm right back in the fucking city, man. I'm like on the outskirts of like the majority of it. I mean, I can see woods behind me, and I can see woods that way, but right on that way is, you know what I mean? You keep going in any kind of miles there, and you're headed into city, more city, 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 more city, city.
Sounds about
That
right though. I mean, you're just at the edge of it. Ain't bad.
I haven't been this close to this much fucking shit in a while. It's weird.
Yeah.
This many people, all that shit. It's all sweet. I got plants here already though.
There you go. There you go.
I even got the somewhat of an okay for cannabis growing.
I was gonna say
So,
if you need to re-up on some clones, I could cut them a bunch more or whatever.
right, well, I might take you up on that too. So, yeah, I'm excited. Future seems to be bright so far. I've got to spend some time with my grandson. That's a plus.
Are you closer to
Grandson's
them now?
probably about a mile and a half up the road.
That's perfect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is he? What's he? How old is he now? Two and a half, three?
Two, yeah, come around on that three.
Yeah.
I've been loving all the grandpa hogs. You know, in the past, because I get to see him that so, not as much as I'd like to. When I get there, there's always that warming up period. You know what I mean? But the last few days, man, it's no warm up period. As soon as I like come through that door, he's like running right for it and shit, and just nothing but hugs. I had a weird it was super cool. All right, we talk about like objects being able to hold energy and stuff like that. This was a weird something. It just may be played out because it's new or whatever, but or not new. Uh, I took a curio cabinet that I had built for the girls' grandma who had passed. Uh, I'd been lugging it around, and I said, I asked the oldest, well, it wasn't even an ask. It was, this was your grandma's, and I want you to this was your grandma's, and it was something I built. It's time for you to start holding history. You know what I mean? I want you to have this. And there was a little, maybe, I don't know how big it is. Da, da, da. So I take it over there, and I bring it in, and I set it down, and Chase just walks right up to it and just stood there and fucking he looked at it for a second and then put his hand on it and just stood there and just not weirdly, but he stood there just with like there was a moment there. We all caught it. You know what I mean? So was it he knew that, there was a presence attached to that, you know what I mean, or whatever, but
Yeah.
it definitely seemed like a special moment. Not only I, but Brittany, the mom caught it. You know what I mean? And we were like, just kind of sat back and watched it play out. Like, what's going on here? And he just walked over and like, it was a special moment. It's been super awesome to see, just to get this some of that time and some of that missed time. It's been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, Seth.
Cheers, cheers, Smiley, Eagle.
Rough stuff.
Happy Halloween, weed nerds.
Yeah, it is Halloween. Fuck, man. Hard to believe already.
I'm
End of
grinding up some
October.
bud right now, making some pre-rolls up because my dog doesn't like people like knocking on the door or nothing. So we actually lucked out. It's gonna be like 65 degrees tonight for trick-or-treating. So I stay outside to give out the candy, so I don't have to freeze ass this year. But I do have to make a bunch of pre-rolls now before all these kids come. Not for the kids, for me. I'm gonna make that clear.
Right. Well, you never really know these days. I mean, well, I was talking to a guy the other day, and they were saying that well, his Lexi's boyfriend there, he works at one of the local discos, and he says he sees a lot of 18 and under kids. The only people that are pulling cards anymore, medical cards, he said, so or that he sees are the 18 and under because they can go out and pull their card and be able to use cannabis medically. So there's there's some kids that you might be able to pass joints to. They might
They
even be
ain't getting it
smoking as
from
they
me.
come up to the door. Oh, dude. And we've had some beautiful weather. This is probably the nicest fucking Halloween I've seen it's been in a minute. What's the weather like over there on the East Coast there?
Yeah, today's like 73. I think tomorrow's gonna be 74. I think inland's closer to 80, but we're like right on the coast, so we're a little cooler. But that's like beautiful compared to what it's been.
Right?
Blind Cat said he woke up to it snowing this morning where he is.
I'm
Damn.
not ready. What
You
about
know, my
oh, sorry, go
my
ahead.
uh my neighbor had like I put up a new fence and my neighbor put like a raspberry bush, well, a raspberry plant, like vined it across the back of the fence on his side, and like a big shoot of it grew onto my side, like up over the fence, and I put it up on the roof of my like shed for a couple months to make it like make extra long like branches or like whatever it is. Uh, and then eventually I took them off the shed roof and put it on like so it was like reaching the ground. And one of the branches made like fucking like knobs on the bottom where it was touching the ground like it's gonna root. So today I'm gonna go and snip that piece off and go plant it in my yard. And I rooted and stole a piece off of his.
How's your
Thank you, sir.
harvest going? You're
My
smiling.
What's that, dude?
I was asking how the harvest came. You're still
Oh,
harvesting?
good. Yeah, I was working on this. I was showing a trim bin full of buds. And slowly but surely, I still got one more plant to go through yet. It's been taking me about all day to get one plant, which is probably like 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds worth.
Noise.
Not the
Noise.
fastest at it. Plus,
And
I
I can't
take
believe
breaks and like get up and walk around. My ass gets numb and shit. Just sitting here.
I'm actually hoping for really good things when it comes to the sun grown this year. I mean, everybody, I mean, if there's been a year for boasting outdoor, I would think those who toughed it out and let it go the distance got some fucking amazing outdoor cannabis this year. So I'm thinking things may be tight for the sun grown. There might be a fucking hopefully a long list of fucking amazing entries this year. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I
was a good
mean?
year. I actually pulled mine down while I'm trimming, so more than a couple weeks ago, but you could have easily let them go. I mean, we had great weather for all of that. People could be pulling them right now.
I'm sure there's some that are still toughing it out, letting it go until that first frost. There's a few out there that let it go until we get that.
Yeah, I got a few of the Jack Skellington ones out there. They came out really nice. The white cranberries by Jack Skellington is fucking pretty fire. I gotta pick one to enter.
Just one? That's always the tough, huh?
That's true. I could do like two or three or something. There's a few different categories. They had a cherry category, which is kind of intriguing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if like raspberries would fit in that category, but it's definitely a fruity one. Some people might confuse it for cherry.
What's up, SoCal?
So
Cheers,
Cal,
guys. How you guys doing?
happy Halloween. Halloween.
Halloweeny? Yeah. You guys were talking about it's being nice out there, and Seth's going to be able to chill out in the front for the first time in a while. I'm over here in a fucking Sherpa jacket and a beanie, freezing my balls off.
That's what you get for being in the desert.
Right? Yeah,
You
it's
look like a garden gnome with that beard, man.
I know, huh?
Perfect,
I know.
perfect gnome beard.
I got I got three more things to kill, then I can shave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of made a deal with myself. I won't shave it until I kill all my deer.
Hey, look at
Some
Johnny sent me a SoCal wizard. You know?
See?
There you
It
go.
looks a lot like you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm making a
Same color
shitload of
beard.
royalties on
It's
those.
like it's like identical.
So you're talking about there's a cherry competition. I'll tell you what, man, that cherry lemonade from Sub,
Oh,
that
that was a really fire strain. I love that.
that shit was fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
That's one that I wish I would have kept around, but you know,
As
didn't
far as
really
I
like
know,
the.
Badger still has those available.
I'll tell you what, if you have the opportunity to grow that, that is a fucking beautiful plant. Absolutely beautiful, and the taste and the smell of it is like none other. I just didn't like the. It was a little too uppity of an effect for me. I didn't like that about it. But I'll tell you what, if you want to grow some Hawaiian punch, that was the one.
Boy, and bunch is super tasty. I'm tasting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm curious how they're gonna like what's gonna get entered in that cherry. Is that because I mean cherries can be way different even. Like there's like sweet candy cherry. There's like real tart sour type cherries. Like it can be
Yep.
hard to even like classify something like that.
That'd be a tough one to judge. I mean, for me anyway, that cherry terpene profile is an indicator of like sleepy weed. You know what I mean? So
I
have
can
you
see
ever
that.
seen a cherry sativa? I haven't. Most of them are usually pretty heavy hitters, put you down, not necessarily speed you up. My,
I'd agree with that. And the
I'm
cherry ones I've had, they were pretty couch locky, I guess, and more
And
sedative.
see, but on the flip side of that, that cherry lemonade that I had from Sub um, was way like, smoke it after dinner and you're cleaning the fucking walls with a toothbrush at 3 in the morning,
Yeah, let's get a little view on
kind of
it.
an effect.
Cherry lemonade, cherry pie, cross with Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
ETF.
See,
And then he
it had to
had
be that.
cherry cordial. And then he also
Yeah.
had cherry gasm.
Cherry gasm. Yeah.
There's cherries up in this motherfucker.
Well, for Michigan competition, cherries are kind of a big deal in Michigan too, you know. Like, you got the whole Traverse City area, we do the cherry festival, all that. So it's a big
Um,
agricultural crop. I could see where having a cherry flavored type cannabis or terpene flavor would be kind of almost what are they, the terroir or whatever. It might be something.
it's going to keep it in the local profile type deal.
Yeah, I mean, say you live by a cherry orchard, you're grabbing a bunch of their whatever plant, the brush they prune off, the cherries they throw away or whatever, you're composting all that shit and reusing the compost back on the cannabis. Like I could see how some of that might eventually start to affect them in a certain way,
Yeah.
which is the whole idea of terroir, right? That you know, your plant's responding to the environment.
Have any of you guys ever grown that cherry lemonade?
I have.
No.
Have did you get the Hawaiian punch out of it or no?
I honestly don't remember. It was a while ago. I still have the empty pack on my wall.
Yeah, that's one. If you guys like the fruity flavors, man, reach out to Badger and get yourself some of those because dude, they fucking grow huge for first of all, but the even just the smell of it while I was growing was, it was like you opened up a Hawaiian punch and stuck your face in there. And it was one of the only plants I ever had that was red.
I ended up having a timer shit out on me yesterday morning. Emergency trip to the store. I was like fucking bugging, like thinking my lights were fucked up, like broke, because that's a nice expensive hit when that happened.
You're muted, Eagle.
Thank you, Sophia. I was asking him, do you use the digital meters or do you use the old dial
I use the
stuff?
old push pin cheap shit. Heavy. It's a heavy duty. I'll show you. Hopefully, take a little walk through.
I say you got some nice fading going on there.
Yeah.
It's Joel's
Ooh,
Darkwood.
that looks good.
Which one's that? The dark
Darkwood
wood?
from Joel for North Star. Things are rock hard too. This is kind of like whatever this front row. I already took like some of the tops and everything, and then there's a wall right behind it of like just massive plants pushing into the light. Some of them grew over the light somehow. My whole room's fucked right now.
Yeah, you need like a machete to get around in there.
Yeah, a little plastic door on it, and then
That's what
I cover the LED with a piece of tape. I don't know if that would light leak or fuck up, but I do it anyway. Yeah, this is a full room.
Nice.
I had to add a little shop light, extra light in the back just to kick up a little extra something. These ones didn't even stretch yet.
They look good,
Yeah,
man.
that's a crazy pile.
That's looking really good in there.
It always sucks trying to wrestle with a bigger plant than what you were planning.
so are
Yeah.
those all in the reused soil there?
Yeah, so I reused this soil, I'd say, because I got the 270-gallon totes. So I must have used this soil like at least 30 times by now. Maybe even more.
Are you just re-amending it when you put it in those totes, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'll at the harvest, I'll get out of this jungle. Uh so yeah, so after harvest, I'll like get the root balls, I'll break them up, get all like this shit out of it. So it's just the soil left, and then re-amend, break it all up, and then I'll just add this. 4 pounds for 70 gallons. Now I haven't had any problems because the less shit you bring into your room, the less chance of bugs and fuck. I just screwed the. Hold on. So I was adding worm casting bags, but the plant food has worm castings in it, so I just cut that out. Now there's no fungus gnats left. You know what I mean? I have no problems. The less shit you bring in, the less chance of problems.
Looking
So far,
good.
so good. The plants, like those things, and besides the front row, because they're all faded and coming down, everything else in the back in the bedroom, everything's nice and green. But using that soil that many times, obviously the plant food works, right?
Yeah, it's
When I
working.
buy soil for that flower room, that's $500 worth of soil in there, and I got that shit down to $20. That's how much that plant food costs, $20. That's a huge savings.
Yeah, that's a good trade-off.
Yeah, hey, and it's working. So
So
Yep.
talking about taking stuff in, like, so say everybody's got a clone or a cut they would just love to have in their garden, right? So say you come across that, but you know that cut has spider mites, or what kind of problem would you still take it in with and say, I can beat that problem? Been there,
I
done that.
wouldn't take it.
I'll keep it.
Anything that wasn't systemic. Most shit you can beat.
yeah,
If the cut's worth it, I think you could, kick most shit's ass, right? Unless it's actually in a diseased plant, right? Mm.
I don't think there's no cut worth taking the chance of fucking everything up. I wouldn't do it. I had spider mites one time, and it took me like over a year to get rid of it. It was like a year and a half to get rid of them completely.
Darn
I ain't ever doing that again.
All right.
shit.
Man, it looks like you do got a halo over your head there, SoCal. Almost Jesus
oh
like.
yeah,
You look like Moses or something.
damn right.
He's-
You know who you're dealing with.
The words of the wise SoCal.
Bow to me.
I mean, I was just sad. I was just curious because, like, I just got a clone and it had spider mites. I know how to deal with them. Not too worried about it. Like, whatever. Get it under wraps pretty quick. But like a viroid and shit like that, you're not gonna be able to get rid of. But some of the stuff's not as big a deal, you know. I don't know.
It's cuts worth it though. I mean, for the most part, I ain't taking nothing in unless that thing's like something I couldn't possibly get in seed form or whatever. You know what I mean? But if it were
Right.
just, you know, if it were worth it and that was the obstacle was pests, I think I would give it a shot to clean it up. Now, just something run of the mill and I didn't really care for. I ain't taking cuts for just blah blah blah. But yeah, I think I could beat anything but something that was systemic. We're talking about a single plant that could be dipped. You know what I mean? Those things could be fucking kicked with a couple dips.
Yeah. So, well, and a clone too. You can isolate it from everything else if need be.
Where are you isolating it? I got one room in my house, dude. I got a flower
You're
room
trying
and
to
a
tell me
bedroom. Like, did I
somebody
isolate the
brought
six?
you a pure skunk, the skunk we're looking for. You'd be like, no,
Nah, I ain't
no.
risking it.
That's almost worth buying like a 2x2 and throwing it in like a whole separate section of your house.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the only way you can isolate is have a
yeah,
separate tent or something.
yeah.
Like I don't have any way to isolate really, other than kind of moving all the plants away from it or something. But they're still gonna be in the same room.
I guarantee you could be tromping through the woods right now and you come across that skunky plant and it was covered in fucking aphids or whatever. I guarantee you'd still cut a branch off it and be like, la 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 la. Happy to fucking take that fucker home.
Absolutely. Like you said, dip it. You can dip a clone pretty damn easy and get 100% coverage on it. You can
Yeah.
switch it around in there and shit. You know what I mean?
Even that would you can a little bit of soil or whatever substrate it might have, you know what I mean? There isn't that much microbial bullshit going on in there that I wouldn't fucking dump something in, do a drench to that, and then take care of what was up top. And like I said, unless it was systemic, I think if it was a coveted skunk clone or something like that, I'd take it. It could be weed. I think that's my opinion on that. Most
Even
things
like an
can be.
unhealthy one, so say it's like all yellow and purple stems and shit. I feel like even something like that, I can nurse the plant back to health pretty good. Like, you know, be, be a little bit of a longer investment. Obviously, it's not going to be moving into flower as quick as a healthy clone, but you'd still have the genetic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I've had to
So
do that
then,
just to save a few shit in the library. Realize last second that there's not another clone of it, and like, oh fuck, and then this one plant that sat in the corner or whatever. It's like, oh shit. Try to nurse them back to health.
so now
I gotta,
in that situation, you get this clone that's all fucked up. You nurse it back to health. Are you flowering out that clone, or are you taking another clone and throwing the original out?
Taking
that's a
another
tough one.
clone.
That's a toughie. If I deem it to be clean, I'd flower it out. There's no reason not to flower it out.
If it's
Why not?
growing at a good enough rate, yeah. But you're still gonna clone
Yeah,
it too, right?
taking cuts anyway. I'm taking cuts anyway. That's why I took the risk anyway. Might as well, you might as well get a taster out of it. That's the way I see it. If it's clean, then it can go on to the next phase. It might be a slow flower or whatever, but
I've done it
keep
both
moving.
ways on a plant that I felt was growing. You know what I mean? It was gonna be ready and vigorous enough to go into flower. And I've had other ones where they weren't. So I just got the clone from it and dumped the plant. Hard to get them back into that whole like growing bigger. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
they might start growing again, but they're just not like the same. It don't seem like,
I think
depending
that
on how
like
rough or sick they got, really. But like, you get pretty good purple striping on the stems and the yellow leaves and shit. Like that's a pretty sick plant.
it can be recovered though. I mean, as you've learned this year, some of the cuts you put out in the sun. You know what I mean? That sun could do a lot. We are limited indoors, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that Skywalker OG cut was like it was like a whole new plant. And that cut goes back into the early 2000s, so it's been a clone of a clone of a clone for decades now. But indoor, it was looking pretty shitty. It's probably got some kind of weird virus or something. I don't know, but she always goes three leaves. She's always the unhappy girl, I guess, and veg all the time. Super hard to make that plant look happy. But I put her outside and it was like magic, like different, totally different plant than what she is indoor. It was the happiest I've seen her in a long time. She threw down a great yield, like pretty cool. I
She was
took a
red
clone
center.
of her outdoor and moved it back indoor, and now they're pretty close to the same as they were before indoor. So it didn't seem to change that much. So
Yeah, there's something about that light bulb you use outdoors that just kind of makes things a lot happier.
I do, man.
She
There's a
was
lot to the sun that like more even in the full radiation range of it, you know what I mean? Like in like just now we're talking about UV and deep, ultra UV stuff and like the or the far reds and all that, but that's in the sun along with gamma rays and all kinds of other shit, you know what I mean, going on. That's like
Mhm.
we're not ever going to be replicating. I mean, some of the lights that the plasma type lights were like HPS and those type where they actually have the electricity making a plasma through the gas. Those can emit a different range of that. So that's somewhat why guys still like those because you're getting a fuller range in that electromagnetic scale or whatever. that you wouldn't get from an LED because they're just tuning it to what you need it, Like the LEDs
Imagine
are way
how
more efficient because this is what we know you need.
I could imagine how hot that fucking plasma. How would you even cool that fucking? I got the plasma TV. I'm sure a lot of us have had plasma TVs in the past, though. But motherfuckers are hot, man.
Uh,
I can't imagine what a grow light would put off a plasma, or what the draw would be. How efficient do you think a plasma light would be?
I didn't ever get into much because they were always super expensive, and then they had limited like output or power on them, so it was kind of cool for the spectrum part of it, but it wasn't like practical, I guess, to be able to yield properly.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to lights, man, I like that one right there. That's my favorite light of them all.
Absolutely.
And dude, my power bill when I use that one is so much better.
Hmm. I was driving by this fucking building yesterday, fucking daydreaming, man. Back to like old school type shit when parking when we were daydreaming about parking lot, street lights and shit. I was driving down this fucking 96 yesterday. There's this building, long fucking building, three lights on that motherfucker. It had like a 180 fucking spread on it, and then each, point to point, that thing had to cover like 60 feet, like damn near like the sun. I'm thinking, what in the heck is that? What is that bright motherfucker over there, man? We gotta we, we gotta be able to grow with that motherfucker. I could tell it had to be a fucking large LED, but man, that thing had just you couldn't even look at it from a distance. It was so bright. Couldn't tell if it was HPS or LED.
So was all that extra room in there, Eagle? You gonna put up some tents again, or
Yes.
eventually? Oh
He's
yeah.
Oh,
yes.
soon. No,
Initially,
eventually.
not eventually, initially.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a tent up before he has a couch in there and shit.
I'm honestly surprised it wasn't in the first place.
There's plants here. I already brought plants. It's just a matter of
Well, that's
putting
what
up
I
the
mean. You
fence.
already got the plants there. It's kind of a necessity, right? Like,
Yeah, they're not looking too happy in the Tahoe right now. I was just looking at it this morning. I was like, yeah, I got to do something with them girls. Fuck, man. The one, sorry, Pizza Pirate. I still have the Vietnamese black, but I put three of them girls. The other night I came home with a fucking truckload of shit and I had just enough room. And I'm like, what? I look around, I'm like, you girls. I had room for three girls just in the back. Boom, boom, boom. And they were just set up where the wind wasn't going to beat them up that bad. They weren't up by the cab. They were back by the tailgate. And that Vietnamese black took one hell of a beating. But she'll come back, just like we were talking about earlier. How much shit can you, if it's worth it, you would be surprised how much shit I have held on to over the years, just toughed it out just because it wasn't producing or whatever. That's all right. It's back to even if if it is a slow flower, a little yielder. I mean, are we producing to produce anymore, or are we just holding on to that strain because it's fire and you know what I mean? We don't give a shit about the yield. Sometimes they just don't yield. So I've held on to some strains that's went backwards over the year just because I hoped it'd snap back sometime, but I didn't want to lose it. Okay, she just went to the personal corner. You know what I mean? You're not a star anymore, but I'll keep you because I love you and shit. Right? You know what I mean? So I've toughed out some strains of what I've put up with before I pulled the plug on them for sure. So take on a sick clone or something like that. I've handled worse. I've handled and held on to shit worse before, you know what I mean? Well, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Some of the best meds are made, for certain.
You know, I still got my fucking Blurple light just because I don't have the heart to throw it out. But Eagle, you put them in storage, huh? That huge collection of hoods and lights and
Oh,
bullshit. You couldn't.
I'll go get you a light break right now. I'm,
The LED Light History Museum.
Yeah.
you know, I still have one, and believe it or not, I have a tool right here with. I'll show you. I'll go get you like my first LED. I'll be right back.
Oh shit. Is it the
I
light
think it
bright
might.
LED?
He's gonna sell them to the local museum for their display of LED light evolution.
The collection is unreal. I'm not surprised, but the collection is unreal. The longevity, I should say.
The
History.
spaceship ones
Yeah.
are the best, dude. Those are the fucking best.
I was I was looking for shit in the garage the other day, and I opened a box, and it was a fucking Blurple light. I was like, "Holy shit! I don't even remember freaking moving this thing."
Yes. To be able to go that back that far in your we'll call them treasures at this point. That's pretty
Right?
impressive.
I laugh, but I still got all my vented hoods and shit. I got like 8 or 9 of them vented hoods sitting around. I gotta get rid of. Nobody wants them. I mean, and
Yeah.
whatever.
That's just it. I feel people say, "Why don't you just give them to somebody?" I'm like, I'd feel fucking super guilty giving somebody that power.
Yeah.
What's the power? How?
Right, from next to your top.
No,
The old 1,000 watt HPS. It costs you like $15 a minute to run.
Right, right. Or
You
all
need
the
like
pieces that all the stickers went on that you don't want to get rid of anymore. So you keep
right.
hauling those around.
Yeah, you'd have to have like multiple fans going to run through, one to run through the hoods, and yeah, another
Yeah.
one to vent out the room and shit. Your AC's is cranking like a motherfucker.
We were moving the old ballasts around the other day, and I was like, man, does this bring back some memories? The
Yeah,
nice
my little
big
room
heavy.
evolved quite a bit switching to LED. That was a big change. My AC barely ever runs. Like heat in the room's more of the issue now. Like
Yeah, it was good to see all the nostalgic pieces that all the phases we've went through, honing in on what we now know today and the pieces we use today. It's just so
Right.
much different. So much
oh,
different.
still can't find them motherfuckers. And I tell you what, one thing I do have, or I will, first thing I fucking seen when I walked in, there's a 12 by 12 mud room, cold room, closed in, with a
Nice.
laundry tub sink right there, freezing cold. That looks perfect to what I'm gonna call the laundry slash hash room. That's where I'm gonna. That's that's already the hash room. It's gonna be fucking cold in there in the winter. Plenty enough space, concrete floor, sink right there, water, everything you need for a good house wash is right there.
The washer and
Oh
dryer is
yeah.
just gonna borrow some space.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's literally like the first thing I thought of when I came in. I walked through that room. I'm thinking, note to self, this is where I will wash ash. This room right here.
Nice.
Can't find my keys for the garage though.
That's the weed nerd way. You know, fucking walk in there and stop figuring out where all the gross shit's going. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop off here so I can get ready for the trick or treater people. But happy Halloween, peace and love.
Right on,
Stay
Seth.
safe.
All
Rainer
right,
Family
well,
Farms out.
get that. I'll be right back, boys. I found the keys. Later, Seth. Happy Halloween.
yeah, later. So
Off and running.
Yeah. That's funny. The first thing he's thinking about moving in is to grow.
And the first thing that was in the truck was the camera bags. He got here and he's like, "Did I just do that? Did
I mean,
what we
that's what
need?"
he wants. it's the lifestyle you want to do. I mean, it's like you were looking for a place you could go ride your dirt bike. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yes. Because how many times have we said out loud what the space that he needs, and we hope for him to get that space. It's here. And it's definitely.
Yeah, this is it. This is my first LED right here. Bang. The old light bright stuff. Doesn't even have cardboard back. It fucking had about, I think in all there was like 10 of these on a fucking the grow was on a 12-12 roof, and the walls were framed into that 12-12, so you had like the angle roof. Oh, look at that pink and blue hue.
Oh shit.
Mm. It had a bunch of those. Oh, and they were on that roof that fucking like that. So they were on both pitches of the roof, shining down on that canopy. And they weren't the only source of light. There was a fucking 600 HPS in there, but they were still they added, you know what I mean? They added a little bit to it. I never took them down until I got, started getting them Mars lights and shit. So they hung up there for a sec. I didn't take them down because I didn't think they worked. It was still back. That phone can, try anything to add anything. Same shit we do today. They'll give me 2% yield. I'll give that a try. You know what I mean? So if I thought I got anything extra out of that, you know what I mean? They were there. They were gonna hang until they fucking went dead or replaced. I don't know why I still hold on to them though. I've asked myself that every fucking time I've moved that crate. I go, why am I still moving this? We
so
moved
you can do
fucking
that, what you just did,
Yeah.
show us online.
maybe, yeah, obviously, right? Fucking, we moved, man. We had magnetic ballast. Fucking, we moved just this last week. Fucking a whole 1,000 fucking watt ballast, a couple 600 watters.
Are you
Fucking
gonna add
still
them to
work.
your
I
weight
don't know
bench
why I
or
won't
something?
throw them away. Yeah, fucking literally cost more to move and shit than they're worth.
Smiley's onto something there. Smiley's onto something. You got to start the grow light museum.
Yeah, can I at least slim it down to one of each? This is a magnetic ballast. We used these back in the dinosaur days. No, there's multiples of each though. Still, I still got a nice stack of T5s. I got some LEDs. Yeah, and I only saved out of the last move. I had a bunch of the XXLs, like 6, 8 of those that I left up in the Holden Lake storage unit. I was like, they just too fucking bulky, man. I picked out the one that had the oldest favorite is stickers on it, and I kept that one. I thought, man, I'll put that one up nostalgic, maybe rig an LED up in there so it lights up and use it like as like a man cave light or something like that. Or maybe I'll fucking use it again someday. But that's about the only grow equipment that I've X'd out. Up there, I got rid of all the HPS hoods, the cool tubes, and fucking shit like that. Whoever opened up that unit got a bunch of fucking hoods. What? I didn't lug those around. They were like a whole nother fucking truckload of fucking just hoods and shit. You know what I mean? Breakdown store, but again, why did I keep the fucking ballast for them? I don't know. I should have kept when to put them out for scrap weight or whatever. Oh,
Not that you just kept them, it's that you continue to keep them.
I know. They're fixing to come here. Motherfucking
You've kept them like 3 times now.
they're gonna come 200 miles here in a truck. Oh. It's sad.
You know, the sad part is if you actually put that shit on like Craigslist or eBay or something, somebody will actually buy it to use.
I had suggested at one point because I agree. As much as you don't want to pass it along and give somebody else the old stuff, somebody out there wants it and will use it for whatever they want to do
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
You know what I
I got
have found out shit this over the years, like that light I showed you. Now, them lights are they may suck for our weed use, but I tell you what, you throw some succulents under that little fucker right there, some house plants,
Oh yeah.
they love them. They love them. Grow just fine under that motherfucker.
I
Weed
know
can.
a guy that I know a guy that still swears by his old fucking HPS and metal halide lights. Fucking refuses to use anything else.
They still don't. I mean, even when I started the show, I was still using them. The only reason why they necessarily came down is because necessity. I would probably, if I were still there, they'd probably still be hanging in the background too. There was no real reason to dump them yet, you know. Cheapskate in me, obviously, I'm still dragging around the hood. It is a good technology. LAG, it took forever. I think for most people that grew under HPS. It took LED a long fucking time, and I don't think like just said, there's not a lot of people still sold that the LEDs are out producing. And I think there is a difference in quality. In fact, there's no think. I ran them side by side. More oil and more resin seemed to be a little bit heavier on the LED side, but I lost yield on the LED side. I HPS had bigger yields and fatter buds. LED brought smaller buds, denser buds, and a little bit more stickiness.
And three times the power bill with the HPS.
Well, that was the
That
beauty thing was you could put multiple. That to me, that just made more space. I got you so used to fucking paying that bill, and I'm still that way. You know what I mean? If I'm at $300 a month and I can cut my electrical bill down, okay, I can replace that HPS instead of pulling 15 amps. And now I've got something that can do that very same thing and run for less than five. Now it just tells me
Mhm.
I can now run three times the area. What can I get rid of in these rooms that I can now put up some more lights? Because that plug can handle, three times as much. And that's what was
Yeah.
happening with me as I took them down. I just tried to put up more lights. The savings was never. I never saved anything. I just put up more lights. It cost me more to go.
More lights, more tents.
Oh, shit. So, how long did it take you guys to be convinced to make that switch? What was the deciding factor for you guys to go on? I guess. Was it the power consumption?
It, it was the power bill for me. Yeah.
The heat. I had a hard time dealing with the heat all the time, keeping enough air conditioning going. So going back from 1,000 watt HPS down to a 600 watt, LED, it changed that a ton.
Did you notice what was the first thing you noticed in the difference? Did you notice a difference?
And the flour,
Yeah.
I feel like there's some morphology difference, but not really a ton. I mean,
Yeah, I never grew anything under LED that I grew under HPS, so I couldn't really make any, you know, good comparisons.
Yeah, I love the LEDs, but there's I will say this about the LEDs. They're not all the same. There's a learning curve. It's not like an HPS. Most HPS were HPS. You know what I mean? It was the same bulb out of the box, Hortolux bulb, boom. Same, pretty much same spectrum. You know, you could count on that. Nowadays, man, you get a fucking Mars over here, you get a fucking Spider Farmer over there, you get this, you get that. They got all different spectrums, man. It's not necessarily a unified thing anymore, unless you're running a room full of the fucking same lights. It's a learning curve with each fixture that you get these days.
Yeah, HPS was HPS. You knew what you were getting. Everything was going to be uniform and all the same. And now you got these lights where you can dial up the freaking blues or the reds or all this, and everything just changes.
What's
Well,
been your
shit,
favorite out of the LEDs?
um, the only, to be honest, the only LEDs I run is that Mars.
It's been a good light. I've had good results with bars. Smiling?
I've run the HLG 550 was the first one I got, and then I got a second one of those. I got a 550R. I had some of the 300 the blues from HLG, the 600 blue, and then now I run all Grower's Choice, the ROI 680, I think. Their bar light, not a panel.
Got one of those HLG 650 that are there. And I have not found the sweet spot in that light or can honestly say that's my light. Or you know what I mean? I've actually wanted to take it down and fucking put up. The last time I put it up, I said as I was taking it down, I was like, man, I'm putting up the fucking Mars light next time in this fucking thing. Because I just didn't like the HLG. I don't know what it was, but at least in that tent, and again, it was a decent sized light in that 30 by 30 tent, and I did fuck with the intensity of the light, you know what I mean? To see if I could find a sweet spot that way. And no matter what I did, I just plants weren't happy with that light in that, you know, what I mean, in that area. I've had better luck with the Mars light in that area or smaller lights in that area.
I mean, I can't complain about those Mars lights. For a I guess cheaper light. I can't complain. I've had good success with them. So
Yeah, the Grower Choice ones are like reasonably priced, I guess you'd say. They're not cheap, but they're not the most expensive by any means.
right.
I've had great luck with them. They've lasted a long time. The last batch of the HLGs that I bought seemed to be a lot cheaper made than what the original ones I had were, because they actually broke before the original ones I had.
That's always frustrating. You
Yeah,
go
one
buy the
that's 2 years
new.
older is still running, and the newest ones have broke. You know,
Yeah.
so something changed in how they were doing it. My take on that.
I had that luck with my HPS shit. Man, every time I went out and bought one of the good ballasts and shit that I'd spend extra money on, that fucker wouldn't go the distance. I'd go fucking eBay and buy one of the iPower or some shit like that, and I've still got a fucking tote full of them bitches that, you know what I mean, half the price went distance, no problem. Why is that? Sometimes the knockoff like will take you a little bit further than some of the bigger brands.
That's by design. I mean, they don't last as long. Now you got to buy two instead of one.
Looks like it's fixing to rain. Rain here in fucking Tennessee County. Sitting in front of this window. It's weird fucking watching the cars roll by. So weird. So what you guys got in store for the weekend?
Trimming.
You dry
Um,
trimming over there or you wet trim that outdoor?
Dry. They've been
Yeah.
hanging for probably, well, tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So
Oh, right on.
yeah, I mean, I've been slow. They hung for 8 days, and then I started working on trying to trim. So I've been trying to get them all trimmed for the last week.
nice.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you were pulling them down when you said you were listening.
I pulled them down in 2 batches. I had 2 separate harvests. So I had 10 plants. I pulled 5 down because my dry room wouldn't have held it all. So I had to do 5 and then get those trimmed up and down and then put the next 5 in.
It's a good problem to have right there.
Yeah, when your dry room's not big enough.
Yeah.
That ain't a bad problem. I know that. Yeah, I just kind of peel all the leaves off and then this stuff I'm gonna run through the trim bag. So really I'm just kind of taking the dry fan leaves and they're just falling right off and then I pluck all the buds and I'll throw them in the trim bag and that'll clean the rest of them up. So I don't even hardly use the scissors, but to cut the buds from the stem. Makes it quick and easy.
What is that there?
It's the Zero is what it's called. It's the white cranberries by Jack Skillington. Which these are
Nice.
up on the website now, smileysangels.net. So the Zero came from the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. That was his Jack Skellington's dog in that movie, or in the ghost dog that flies around.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen that,
No, I have not.
but it seemed an appropriate title for the line of the Jack Skellington, I guess.
Dig it.
So we picked a
What's
couple
the one?
characters, name them.
What's the bud behind you in your screensaver? The background.
I don't remember. Kind of looks like High Punch. I don't know. It's just a picture I grabbed. I don't remember specifics. Sorry.
No,
These came out really nice, man. They got a really cool um like a fruity spice kind of thing, I guess.
Nice.
So any Halloween specials? Since we're yeah, yeah, it is a holiday.
Oh, for Halloween, yeah. We didn't think far enough ahead on that one. I don't have any up there at the moment. But we did get them added. I had to write, get the descriptions written up and like packaged. That was one of my projects last week. And I've had a nice 3-week vacation. So, which was kind of great because yeah, they paid me a severance. So I got like whatever vacation time I had, and then which was like a half a week, and then they paid me 2 weeks or whatever as a severance. So it's like
Oh, nice.
I'm only gonna be without a paycheck, so to speak, for like 3 days out of this. So it's kind of nice.
Nice.
Which
And,
was,
thinking
yeah, I got a bunch
about
of shit done around the house. I didn't just sit around. I got a bunch of shit done.
You back to work, or are you gonna ride the unemployment train for a minute?
No, I found a job. I got accepted this week, so I'm gonna start Monday at a new job.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Service
Right.
advisor. I'll still be in the auto repair. It'll be, but
Back doors wide
nice,
open.
nice shop. That's what I grew up in the auto business in the Grand Rapids area. So like I know so many people in the business, and it's like applying for these part jobs, it's like I'm almost overly qualified, you know what I mean? Like I could run the dang shop,
Right.
just do the service advisor, but it's just a matter of getting in an environment I like and can add to it.
There
But it
you
was
go.
kind of interesting there. I knew the head technician there when they had me in for like the interview and shit. It's kind of funny.
Nice. That always kind of helps too, you know.
Oh, I'm sure it did, yeah. Plus I used to sell weed to that dude, so like I know they're cool with all that. So
He's like, hell yeah, my Connect's working here now. I don't even got to go anywhere.
well, no, it's funny because I was a route salesman, so I was going in a bunch of different shops too. So like I had friends at all kinds of different shops and dudes I knew. So whenever I was like stopping there, I was like, "Hey Tim, what's up, man?" Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I knew all these guys. And then that dude, I used to hook him up with weed on the route because I knew he smoked. It was all cool incognito, but he actually moved to a farm, and I hooked him up with some clones and helped him out getting an outdoor grow on. And then, yeah, he had his first outdoor harvest, and then he was off to the races. I haven't sold him since, but I know he's still growing too. So he's
Nice.
growing his own.
It's kind of funny you say all that because that's kind of how way I'm back to work a little bit with the weed anyway. It so I was here a couple of days and told a couple of my old friends that one old friend helped me pull the favor, get me a house there, and then the other favorite buddy hit me up and wanted wanted me to do some work, run a crew and all that shit. Well, so it happens that that guy was one of the same guys that way back when um, I started learning to grow from, or had gotten some good fire from way back in the day and shit. So same shit. I talked to him and like yeah, man, could use some work, and I told him hey yeah, man, props, man. It's good to see you got kept things rolling, got kept the crews rolling all these years, and he was like, no, no, no. I'm just back at it the last few years. I cashed it in and went the weed route for a while, and unfortunately had to, you know. He's like, no, but at one point, yeah, no, I sold all of the siding crew shit and all that, and so I'm back at it now. I was like, all right, who am I working with? Me and a bunch of people, me, oh man, like that's fucking awesome. So being able to smoke on the job, I'm sure there'll be fire. I'm sure we'll have fire on the job and smoking will be all right. But
well, and
Nice.
can I attest to that for all of you that really are kind of coming back to what you used to do. The world's done a great job getting rid of quote unquote the trades in our schools, in our young adults, et cetera. I'm sorry, you guys are kind of back where you don't really want to be, but if you can take a minute to show the younger generation how to do it again, I think they would want to. That I think it's another area they might not even know they want to anymore because it's been so far back and the burner for a while. So it can be really good. It can be really good, and I'm sorry, guys. I know it sucks. No, it sucks.
Yeah, I keep telling all these young kids I come across that, don't go to college. Go to freaking, you know, Bob's Plumbing and apply as a fucking apprentice. And, Bob will send you through plumbing school. And pretty soon you're making, 150, 180 a year.
Yeah, and working for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. They sucked it right out of them.
I think there might be something to what she said. I heard a radio survey last night that was saying that our grandkids and the kids just before them are back to they don't want to sit around anymore and be in front of the computer. They're saying this next generation kids are going to be the mall kids and shit. Go back out to doing groups, things hands on, and you know, there might be some truth to all that. You know, kids just want to
Hopefully.
play, bump their heads and shit. I guess
I hope so. I hope so.
trades are pretty well scarce, so I mean that's very true. I mean nobody does want to go out and actually build a house anymore. Fucking none of that shit. Everybody wants to sit in front of a computer.
And the ones who
Right.
might don't know how anymore. They're not being taught from young ages anymore. They're not out doing it
Yep.
with grandpa and dad, uncles, and because everybody's went job, college, business, of course, growing their medicine, which is amazing. But we watched them pull the home ec classes out, the woodworking classes out of the schools. We
Mhm.
watched them go college, 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 college. And so many of them are still paying off college debts
Yep.
in their adult years, and nobody knows how to fix anything anymore. Nobody knows how to just, or that they even maybe want to. Please, guys, thank you.
Well, and these kids are going to school now to get like, their freaking gender studies degree. And, they got $100,000 worth of college loans to work at McDonald's.
Yes. Yes. My cousin's one of those. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of college degrees. And it was much easier for her to be a manager at McDonald's raising five
Mhm.
kids than it ever was to go put her degrees to use inside a school and be a teacher.
Yep.
She had a much more flexible schedule. She got paid much more hourly. She could be there for her kids, etc. Yeah, for sure. Watch that happen.
Another one I've been telling all these kids that they don't want to go to college or whatever, they don't want to work in the trades. Go apply for your local 911 service because they pay well.
Interesting.
He froze up.
All right. Yeah, interesting. And I'm interested in what he's got to say right now.
I know, right?
What is his take
I like
on
college thing is kind of a scam. It's like the last service department I was in, like my whole career, my whole since I was 17 has been running, like an automotive repair service department. So so I got a lot of experience and I didn't have a college degree in it, right? Like, but the guy they hired because they let the service manager go before that hired me that I knew, and then they hired this other guy and like yeah, I was talking with him like he had no zero experience in a service
Mhm.
department or managing that at all. He was totally in like manufacturing and like factory type stuff, like warehouse
Mhm.
type stuff, like and it's 100% different, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to me that but when they hired him, that was what they promoted. Oh, he's got this degree from this college and he's got this other degree from that other college. So he had a lot of college. He wasn't a dumb guy. He just had zero experience in the service industry. It's like, the fuck? And now he's running the shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, I
Right.
don't know.
Well, and that's happening with the trades now too. These guys are going through these schools and oh, now you're a certified foreman, but you don't even know the difference between fucking drywall and hardy backer.
I think the where you're seeing that is the certified site managers and stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah,
Right.
you know, have never even walked their way through a, mud and a board or something like that, like you're saying. I think, like you're saying, if you to get that spot, you should be a jack of all. You should have to show you've been a jack of all
Mhm.
trades. At least know a little bit of something hands-on and a little bit of degree for the shit like that.
Right. I mean, look at the guys that are working the trades. You start off as an apprentice, and then, to get your journeyman card, you got to have X amount of hours and, X amount of years and done this and done that. But now I can go take some stupid online class. I'm a foreman, and I've never stepped on a freaking job site, you know?
Well, and I'm by no means, bashing education in any way, shape, or form, but it is certainly overpowered hands-on a lot of things, and it's definitely pushed the
Mhm.
population into another area, and people don't know how to do things anymore. They
Right.
just they don't, and they don't want to know or don't know that they want to know. We watch it over again, and over again. So to act like it's not there, we need a balance. We need a balance.
Right.
Education and hands-on like it used to be. We used to have home ec classes. We used to have woodworking classes. We used to have a
Yep.
lot of that stuff right inside school. They don't have that anymore. It's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took a small engines class in high school, like my junior year or whatever.
Yeah. Wood shop and auto repair was my two electives in high school.
Right. Yeah.
Now the auto shop at that school is a parking lot full of solar panels.
Wow.
Well, that's sad. Now again, not bashing, but it's just a sad change. A sad change.
Right. Hey, it's like they say, you get two educations, one from the school and one from the streets.
Amen. 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 Very few get both.
Hmm.
There's a much smaller population that do both.
Yep. And it's sad that there's so many things out there these days that are an actual, damn good paying career with, retirement and just killer benefits and all that you don't need that college education for. You just need the desire to go seek it out, you know?
And it might even bring you to want to go and have that college class later.
Right.
And there
Right.
might be a deeper education spot that you want to go dive into for sure.
Well,
For
and
sure.
a lot of these things out there like that too, like especially the trades, they will pay you to go to the schools,
Yeah, it's just
so now,
it's another one of those areas not talked about for sure. I
right,
agree.
right. Well, even like the remember the old ROP programs, those are gone now too.
Drivers training through school. I don't know any school systems that are putting
Yeah,
our kids through drivers training like they used to. That's all out of pocket and on your own time and stuff. They quit teaching
yeah,
that too.
yeah.
Speaker said YouTube censoring his comments in my chat. What? That's crazy. I'm curious on what you said. The college conspiracy.
Documentary guru.
Huh. Yeah, no, I'm not swiping any comments down. That's wow. Cool.
Well, it is a
That's wild.
conspiracy in some way because they can give you a student loan that you can't bankrupt out of. You know what I mean? You're tied
Right,
to. So it's like they'll give like 18-year-olds it's like giving them a business loan, really, because you're getting this money to invest in your education to
yep,
hopefully make, get knowledge enough to make enough money or to pay it back or whatever.
right,
My oldest daughter got that way, and I say it that way with intention. She got, they got her in that way, and sadly she wasn't able to ultimately do what she wanted to do at the end of the day. When a whole bunch of stress added to it.
Well, and that's
But
the other thing is the cost for the college educations went up significantly when the
oh
loans
yeah,
started happening for it like that too. It's like, yeah, fuck it, we can charge them what doing all we want, right?
yep,
They're on the hook till they die. Like,
yeah. Back in my day, when I was going to like JC, just taking classes in a JC, it was like $9 a unit for the class. And most classes were like 2 to 3 unit courses, but now they're like 75, $80 a unit. Plus, books and all the other bullshit.
The
But it's not worth
positive
it.
note to that is I really do think it's changing. A lot of you guys, a lot of people are kind of coming back and doing things or having to do things a little bit differently for whatever the reason. And I think it might be a spot where we can instill it a little bit differently, maybe again, and just bring it back a little bit. I think it'll be super positive at
Right?
the end of the balance the scales a little bit. Just rebalance the scales a little bit. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, my little niece was looking for a job, and she was going to like the fast food joints and um, there's a couple Indian casinos and shit like that out here. She was going there applying, and they're all like the fast food joints. $20 an hour in California now to work at McDonald's, but the casinos and all that are starting you off at minimum wage. And I told her, I said, hey, go look at the county of San Diego's website and apply for the 911 dispatcher. And she calls me back and she goes, are you kidding me? It starts at $35 an hour for training. So a lot of people overlook that.
Wow. Wow.
$35 an hour to start, you know, and your first like
Sure, that's a pretty intense job though, too.
I was just
it's
kind
a
of feeling
very
that. Like,
intense
that
job,
might be a
but
pretty.
Yeah, it ain't just answering the damn phone.
no,
Yeah.
no, because every time you answer the phone, it's the worst moment of somebody's life,
Right.
but
Yeah, you got to be able to handle that. You got to be able to go home at night and sleep and stuff.
yeah, but I'll tell you what, if you can actually fight through it and you got the mentality to be able to deal with that, you're set. You're solid for fucking life. You get so it's no secret. My wife is a supervisor for the 911 center, and her benefit package alone is fucking stellar. Plus, you get she's a supervisor. She's $35 an hour is way down below her pay grade, but every year they get a raise. Um, right now they're talking about the union's trying to get them like a fucking $12 an hour raise. And then the pension is her pension alone is worth it. So for all these kids looking for something that's going to be there for a long time, that's a damn good way to go.
Yeah, I mean, certainly sounds nice. It's certainly doing something that's very, very important.
Yeah,
Needed. It's definitely needed. So that's awesome to hear that they're taking care of those dispatchers that well. It really is.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
there's going to be you're going to have days where you want to come home and just beat up the wall or whatever, but I mean, in the end of the day, it's all about the money, right?
That's one thing I've talked about over the years too, is I got a lot of respect for the first responders. I've got a lot of friends of mine that are firemen. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And it takes a lot. It takes a big motherfucker to, have no stake in that. You know what I mean? No stake. There's no reason I need to run into that burning building. You know what I mean? And then run
Right.
in there, fucking do the right thing, pull people out and put your life at risk just to save property. Some cases to save lives, all that. You just don't wash that off at the end of the day.
No.
And in a lot of instances, because they're so law abiding, they refuse to use cannabis or
Mm-hmm.
had in the past. So that time to unwind has always been like alcohol. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And I've always questioned that, you know what I mean? They go out and do what they gotta do, but the alcohol, you throw on a fucking siren. I tell you what, I can smoke 5 joints right now. You throw on a fucking alarm and a red light behind me, my buzz is gone. I'm ready to fucking respond. to where like you know what I mean? You're trying to wash off that last call, you fucking whatever. I mean, that's a different thing. A lot of them people really dive into alcohol, and I've asked them,
Yeah,
first out, hey man, you want to hit this? No, I can't. It's against the law. Can't afford to
yeah,
have that in my system. And that should,
yeah.
in my opinion, that should be like their first. That they should be first in line. You know what I mean? For
Right.
the cars opportunity. They shouldn't be, penalized or in fear of losing their job because that's their coping mechanism. I would rather have any of them guys fucking reefing on a fatty before, during, after, whatever. And I would feel completely good about it. It's just
You
Yeah.
know,
And
I think it's CJ Apple that was telling me his friend was he's a fireman, and they were responding to a call. So they're blaring down the road. He's driving the truck, and somebody didn't see him or whatever. He gets in an accident with a car, right? And I believe the person that he hit might have died even. But
oh,
anyway, of course he goes in, they got to test him, all that shit. He had cannabis
mhm,
in his system or what he tested for, and they're fucking charging him for like involuntary manslaughter and like all kinds of crazy shit.
yeah,
And all he was doing was driving the fucking fire truck, like, and
yeah,
he wasn't even stoned. It was like in his system, but
so that
that's
brings
fucked
me
up,
back to
man.
something that is super fucked up, and I can't help but wonder what I'm fixing to bring up right here is. And we argue this point all the time with the medical card. If he were, and I'm sure being in that position, bad back from fire, you know what I mean? You have your ailments from lugging fire. Fuck the equipment alone, it's heavy as fuck. You know what
yeah.
I mean? I'm sure you could pull a medical marijuana card for that. And so if he had had that medical marijuana card, would he have a better of a leg to stand on because of that? We know it stays in our system, and that man could have not even been using that day or whatever. It could have been just in, bad circumstances, whatever, but still in the system. Should have is cannabis taken a bad rap there, or would he have been better suited to be, or would he have been covered under the medical card? I mean, and you as a driver, I mean, this applies right now. If you're at work or if you're driving, you got cannabis in your system, you're going to be considered recreational, just like you were drinking and driving or anything else. But if you were
Mhm.
to have your medical card, now you have room to fight all of that. If you're fired with cannabis your system now, I've got meta. That's you're fucking with my HIPAA shit. Fucking there's you have a lot of rights under the medical card versus recreational because it is recreational legal. Anybody can be using it, and at that point, are you partying before work or during work, or that's a tough call. More reason to actually pull a card, in my opinion, just for that security. I don't know if it would have protected him, but it seems like he would have had a hell of a leg to stand on.
Well, I can't speak for other areas, but I know here, um, when it went recreational, there was a memo put out to all the first responders that said, "Hey, even though it's legal in California now, we go by federal, so you are not, legal no matter what." And then even with the medical, they can't get their if they get their medical here, it's an automatic disqualification for the job because it's still considered, illegal under federal law. So I don't know how their areas work, but I'll tell you what, most cops and fire department, employees that I've met are fucking alcoholics.
Yeah, we need them to medicate with cannabis, literally, not only physically for what they put their bodies through every day, but their mental state, of
Mhm.
course. Like we know what cannabis does in there to keep the brain on track and going. The first responders are the very ones, like you said, the very ones that we need
Mhm.
understanding how to use it. And they're the very ones that can't and turn to the bottle, which we know diminishes the mind,
That's the part.
depresses the
Right,
mind.
right.
Vets too. That's always really made me upset about the vets, the coming home vets. They should be the first. Now they shouldn't
Oh
have to
yeah.
come in fear of, not being all their benefits being washed away because they've tried cannabis. And I've talked to a lot of old vets that wouldn't get their medical card for that very reason right there. They just didn't want to lose all the medical benefits they were getting through the government. And
Right.
that's sad.
And that medical card should be part of your paperwork when you leave the service, when they hand you your walking papers and tell you, okay, you're done, your service is up, that card should be page one of that packet.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. Be a totally different world for a lot of areas of life.
Right. And it even goes down to like the military. I mean, look at the fucking go to a military bar in your town. They're all fucking hammered drunk,
And I have both in my family. I have the ones that chose to smoke marijuana, cannabis, weed when they got home, and the others that boycotted the weed and leaned more towards other things. And I mean, the weed smokers are the ones that at least seemed to handle it. But,
Right.
I don't know, better is a completely wrong term, but handle it differently than the ones that chose other paths, sadly.
Yep. Well, when you smoke, you kind of mellow out and you slow down and you get a little more analytical about your thoughts. You drink and now you're just fucking off the handle and you don't give a shit.
Fixing to roll up a mystery joint now. Seems like the last little bits I've been putting in the tube for the fucking salad joint.
I mean,
I like the salad joints myself. They're delicious. What's been your favorite Halloween costume over the years? What you guys have you ever do you guys celebrated Halloween
I
with
got my senior year of high school, got kicked out of school on Halloween for my costume before class even started. I showed up as a penis, and a buddy of mine showed up as a condom.
ah, right on. That's fucking hilarious.
Big all hairy
And
balls for my feet. Yeah, but I didn't even make it all the way into the fucking school. They were sending me away.
right on. Yeah, I don't. I've celebrated it, but I can't. It's always been a mask or something. So like, nothing too impressive there. I think that one's got me beat by a long shot.
I
What
remember that
about
Halloween show you kept switching masks and hats.
Yeah,
that was a super fun episode. That was. The one where the year I painted my face was just weird.
yeah,
It
that was a little creepy.
was. It was.
Yeah, this
Every
year
time
I'm
I
just
see the picture, I'm like, oh, Jesus. That's terrible. That is terrible right there.
I told my wife the other night, she asked if I was going to dress up or anything for, passing out candy tonight. And I was like, yep, I'm going to wear a t-shirt, a pair of Dickies, and some shoes. And I'm just going to be the average, everyday asshole.
I went all out for years and years, a lot of years. If the Halloween was a big thing, whole family, all kids, all the stuff. Halloween. It's been a minute. I don't mind some Halloween, but it's been a minute.
Is
Shit,
dressing up as Herbert the pervert inappropriate? Sit there and go, hey, where's the paper
Right?
boy?
Maybe I'll dress up as Diddy.
You boys want to spend the night?
That's funny. That is funny.
Actually,
Yeah.
out. So this little town where I live, is where they dump all the freaking sex offenders getting out of prison. So there's only 800 people in my town, and there's like 3 or 4 freaking, sex offenders. But I was thinking about there's a shirt that I saw on those little Instagram posts that you just like scroll through, and it was kill your local pedo. So I was thinking about getting like the fucking Jason mask and wearing that around town tonight.
That's funny.
For YouTube purposes, I'll just shake my head. Shake my head.
I don't know why, but this Halloween, it was like yesterday or the day before. I thought we had shot right over Halloween. I thought it was November 1st, 2nd already. I was like, shit, Halloween? We still haven't had Halloween? So much has happened this month. Literally.
So fast. So fast. Everything's been so fast tracked. Fast.
Been a crazy October. 24 in general went by super fast.
Yeah, it did.
Great.
Which, is kind of a good thing.
So what was your grandson this year, Smiling? Chase was a dinosaur.
He's a Power Ranger. Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I know.
He's got the whole like red jumpsuit and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, we get him Saturday again. It's fun.
I'm wondering. Fuck. This is the furthest or closest. This has got me even dumbfounded. I haven't even been this close into a busiest area. You know what I mean? To where I would even think about somebody knocking on my fucking door for Halloween. Over the last 15 years, it'd take you, it's like they're half mile between houses and shit. Yeah, kids just didn't fucking trick or
Mhm.
treat. I could actually get a trick or treat tonight, and man. I might have to go get a bowl of candy or some shit. I don't know even fucking minute.
Nah, follow. Sure. Sure. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Shit, I mean,
I don't even know if we're gonna get kids at the door tonight or not. It's a
that's my
tiny
next
little
question.
town,
Is
and
he even
who
do that
knows?
shit anymore? They just trunk or treat. I mean, that for a while was about the only way you could let your kids go trick or treat was like a trunk or treat thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I know out here, like San Diego proper, downtown, whatever. Um, what they do is a lot of the people will group up and carpool out from like the ghetto out into like the nicer suburbs. And all of a sudden, a neighborhood where you have like, 5 kids that live in the neighborhood, all of a sudden now there's, 400 walking down the street, and none of them are from
Oh,
around the neighborhood. So,
we didn't live in the ghetto, but we multi fucking neighborhooded it. Fresh fucking suitcase or pillowcase in the fucking new neighborhood. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
but it's,
yeah.
back, I can't speak for everybody. Back in my day, it was like, yeah, we'd walk, to the next little neighborhood or whatever. But if you couldn't walk there, man, you weren't going.
Oh, that was always even the parents is like, all right, let's head over here. Then we're going over to Grandpa's house and shit. Be like, Grandpa's got the good stuff over there. They give them the full size candy bars. You always
Right.
wanted to fucking go over to Grandpa's house.
Yeah. 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 Meet up with the
We used
veterans.
to we used to do a thing back in my old neighborhood where it was drunk or treat. The parents, the kids would get the candy, and the parents would get beer and wine. Joel, what's going on? How you doing?
Hello, Joe.
Yeah, getting ready to press some butter. I just grabbed my phone. I was having lunch and whatnot, and I saw Eagle say he was getting ready to get on. I haven't checked been on my phone for a bit, so I get to watch you press some butter. I'm just getting set up.
Nice.
Fun stuff,
It's
huh?
amazing. It's amazing how you remembered which houses gave you the good candy as you were growing up too. Year to year, you knew
Yep.
you got to hit that one. They got the
Yep.
good stuff right there. Yeah, Halloween was always fun. How much? All right, tell us your recipe real quick, Joel. How much?
Basically, it's you go to Costco and get a case of butter, which is like 24 pounds, and you put that in the pot you just try to keep topping it off until you get the pot full of freaking pot full of pot.
No, you don't measure. No measurements. You just right from the.
Nah, I don't do any measurements. What we do is after we get the butter made, if we have more than one batch, we'll blend them together, whatever. Then we get the butter itself tested. And it is what it is. I changed labeling for the butter then. I'm actually going to go grab the pot right now. Be back in a minute.
That's a weird contraption he's got there. It looks like it funnels right off into that strainer, like you dump it into the
Yeah.
pot. And ask him about that. Looks like a pretty neat setup. I like my butter strong. I want it fucking strong, fucking dangerously strong. I want it strong enough if you accidentally butter a fucking toast with it, you're done for the day. I want
Right.
to like concentrate. Like if I make goods, I will, and it calls for like 3 tablespoons of butter. You want to be able to use like one and add regular butter into it. You know what I'm saying? No waste, no how are you putting 3 tablespoons in that shit. Yeah. That way you don't, a lot of times you don't taste it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here we
Oh,
go. Look at that.
he's not screwing around. Jesus.
Yeah, hold on. I'm betting him up. That's a fucking bucket. That's a pot of butter right there.
Joel is not playing.
I tried not to laugh when he said 24 pounds of butter. That's
There we go.
that's so tell us about the strainer contraption you got there. That's fucking pretty
Okay.
bad.
This is North Industrial. This is basically I think it's 15-pound, consider 15-pound sausage press. Holds about, I guess, 15 pounds of sausage. Tube and just press load sausage up on your lining and keeping up and just got this crank back here and you crank it down. You'll see when I get set up and you basically just press sausage out of it. What I did was I have a ball of hardwire cloth and then a flat piece over it that I put over down the tube a little bit and over the opening here to hold back any material. Sometimes a little bit gets out still, so I have to hold a spoon here. This is the second batch of butter I made this week. I just got them pressing a batch and just separating this out of this container. A batch I made over the weekend. Trying to make room in the freezer here, get rid of some stuff.
Nice.
Let's see here. It's real hot.
So how strong are you shooting for? I was just talking about I like mine is like dangerously strong butter. I mean,
Generally my butter we always get it tested. We're somewhere for a half-pound tub, 8-ounce tub. We're somewhere usually around 5,000 to 7,000, depending on that's THC levels. So sometimes we have higher levels of THCV or CBG or wherever else, depending on the plant material that goes into it. Higher levels of CBN if we have more older material in it. But usually in that range, usually averages out somewhere. I mean, most of them are plus or minus a few hundred on either side of 6,000 for the most part.
Nice.
And then occasionally I do some full spectrum where I'll do a bunch of CBD, and I try to aim for somewhere basing on the material I'm putting in there. I'm looking for something close to 1 by 1, and I get somewhere in that ratio. But I'm just eyeballing it up like by what I know what the plants are. I'm like, oh, I'm going to put a whole bag of this one. Here's the 1-to-1. This one here's a little heavier in THC. This one's a little heavier in CBD, and mix them all together. And I think I'm still a 1-to-1 ratio, but basically, it's got to get them tested to figure out what's what still. I made enough batches of the butter that making it the way I keep making it consistently pretty much the same way every time. But I come out on either side of 6,000 usually. I've had a couple batches to where it had been over 7,000. I don't know whether because I just added more material, and I'm thinking pretty much sometimes I put some hash in there. I might have been a little heavy with the hash and dumped in more than I thought I did. Maybe that doesn't make sense to me.
Do you add any soy lecithin to it or anything like that, or do you have a favorite butter you believe that like it just got enough better fats, better taste, and shit like that? And then salted or unsalted
Well, I
with the
use
butter.
unsalted because you can always add salt to whatever you're cooking. So I use that depending on some of the butter. I mean, a lot of it goes to people that have medical issues. Sometimes sodium's not something that they want in their diet, so I try to avoid that. But quite frankly, with the prices of butter, I mean, I'm now at $95 for a freaking case of butter at Costco. It's like double what it was 5 years ago. So it's pretty much just getting the Costco butter by the case because that's the only thing that makes any sense. Otherwise, I'd be spending a fortune to just make butter. But
I can feel that. A lot of people,
butter for all kinds of stuff. It's a good butter.
I think the sausage press idea to squeeze it there is fucking genius. I use uh, a coffee press when I'm doing alcohol, like tinctures or getting ready to do my IRSO. But I've never even thought about something like that. That's fucking genius.
You always end up losing a little bit of material, sticks to the plant. Generally, if I take my time and press it really well and let it and press till it's where it feels fairly dry, I usually get about 22 pounds out of the 24 back.
Oh wow!
So I lose about 2 pounds in there. Probably see I don't even unwrap the butter. The paper goes in there too. It's all filtered out. There we go.
Do you eat a lot of edibles? Or do you just?
I have edibles every. Otherwise, I don't sleep. When I ever have to get that edible, it's like I wake up at 2 o'clock when my normal melatonin, all that kind of crap wears off, and I'll just lay. I mean, at that point, I'm actually might as well just get the hell out of bed and do something because I pretty much just lay there and toss and turn. Now, granted, I usually fall asleep by 9 o'clock. I'm usually out cold by then or before then, so I still get plenty of sleep. I feel like, but if I have an edible, I'll wake up around 2 o'clock. Maybe go to the bathroom or something, and then I can roll back into bed and pretty much fade away until 3:34. Then I kind of start tossing and turning, but I just lay there comfortable until I get out of bed at 5. Just wait.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, hey, it's such a fucking good idea.
Well, in the summertime, it's pretty easy because it's all the sun's come, so I might jump out of bed by 5 o'clock when the sun's up. Or this time of year, though, I'll be driving my daughter to school at like 6:45, and it looks like the middle of the night still, pretty much as I'm pulling out. So it's much easier to stay in bed when it's just dark and starting to get cool and damp out here.
I think we're all just watching you press. Genius.
There's one little thing. There's this little release valve on top of this press plate here for air. Doesn't seal tight when you close it down, so I had to actually get like a little piece of hose gasket, like a little hose, like a hose gasket. This whole top.
Yeah, it just makes me want to make some
And this
butter.
is here in case I start seeing some plant up. Sometimes it'll shoot stuff out, but usually once you get it going to where it's getting compressed, it won't be loose enough to shoot any material out. But it tries sometimes. Then it turns into a bunch of pressing it and then just sitting and waiting for it to press the butter out, and the pressure reduces and you can get some more cranks on it.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, I was thinking if there's a way I could introduce steam into this thing, like through the jacket, maybe through the top part, I could steam through. I could actually strip all the butter probably off of the material and get all the butter out of it.
Maybe you have
But
a warm hot plate or something.
yeah, I haven't seen anything like that that I could pick up that it's already made. And if it is, it's probably ungodly expensive, some kind of fancy machinery. So I don't think it's worth the extra 2
Fucking
pounds of
make
butter.
it, Joel. Make it and sell that shit. It's already you've already got a great idea going. Fuck, cash in on that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be all
do it.
pressurized, high pressure, and you gotta have a steam press somewhere. You're probably talking like something hundreds of dollars just for making butter. I mean, I guess on a big scale, if I was doing like industrial, like a big, maybe like 75 quart pot or something. The time I was pressing something that large, where I was pressing out 100 pounds or more, I could see it being worthwhile, maybe. But
Dude, that's your picks and shovels right there, man. That's fucking. You need to. I wouldn't even say anything more. I would just make it and patent that shit.
Convenience sells. Anything that
you know
makes a
what?
dollar.
I come up with ideas all day. Cut me in for 5%. That's all I need. I don't even care. At the point now, I'm not even interested in trying to make money off half this shit anymore. That's too much. That's more of a hassle and takes all the fun out of it.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
And I love breeding cannabis and growing it and smoking it. And when it gets down to the part where I'm all worried about is trying to figure out I gotta make it sell some more seeds, or I gotta get this bag sold, and then that's not fun anymore. I like to be just enjoy it.
A lot to be said about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta think about like when you first started
Very
smoking. The first thing you're high, you get the buzz, the way you feel. It's all. You start getting overshadowed when it turns into too much of a business all the time. It's like you miss out on the fun part, which got you into it in the first place.
Mhm.
Just smoking a big fat joint and throwing some music on, sitting back in the beanbag chair or something, closing your eyes. This is simple stuff that simple life appreciation stuff that cannabis enhances.
Wise words.
What about like the steamers they use for like the coffee shops, like for the cappuccinos and stuff like that?
Yeah, if I had like something this size, like a cappuccino thing, for sure, exactly what I mean. You could put that in there, and if you could press it down, so it's press a lot of it out, and then just steam through it. Yeah, you'd really be able to get all that out of there. I wonder what else can you get through too? Maybe some other extra terpenes and things like that you might extract out under the pressure.
Mhm.
And I got like probably about a third of the material in here is fresh material, if I even dried, and the rest of it's some dried stuff. Empty a bunch of jars, some sample stuff I was testing over the winter, and then I always like to mix in a good portion of some older bud to elevate the CBN levels. I like to sleep good.
Yeah, I always wonder about because butter is greasy. It's hard to get everything out of there. I'm sure you're getting a good return out of that with that press, but Well, like alcohol, when you're doing like an alcohol strip, man, I would think you'd be able to press that shit to damn near. I got everything out of
Oh, yeah,
every bit of alcohol right out of
for
there with
sure.
that.
Yeah, I used to make a lot of RSL. I mean, I still have a still down the hill, like a 6 gallon still and everything. I still actually probably have a couple gallons of 200 proof ethanol, but I've never thought about trying to use this for that before.
Pizza Pirate in chat says car detailing steamer.
Hmm.
Let's see that.
There you go, guys. I'm gonna hop out here. Appreciate hanging out, man.
Cool.
Oh,
Thanks, Smiley.
good
Good
pleasure,
seeing you,
brother.
man.
Cheers,
Yeah,
Smiley.
Thank you for popping in, man.
yeah. Have a good weekend.
Me too. Have fun trimming.
Yeah, I thought about trying maybe to how I would be able to depress this. I have to maybe back it out. I had already had this hole on top of here. I thought about hooking my Skuncy steamer up to it and steaming through it, but I
Would you
don't know.
even have to because it's butter like that? Like Pizza Pirate, the steamer he's talking about, I'm thinking the one I envision anyway, it just has could you just take that steamer and heat up the outside of the vessel with it? You know what I mean? Just
This thing's
kind of
all
work
right here. I mean, it's hot to the touch already. From the material in it is so hot, it holds this heat because of the butter.
right. It's hard to improve what you already got going there.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
about
You
22
already did
out
what
of
we
24.
more and we miss.
Brilliant.
I mean, it works decent enough. I've been doing it the same way probably for 10 years now, at least. Before this, I used to use basically like the top of a big pot like this with the pot under it and like put cheesecloth in it. I literally have like another pot that was fit inside this on top of it. And I'd be like standing on it and like pressing on it and like putting weight trying to press everything through it. It was ridiculous. I did that way like 4 or 5 times, and it was. I mean, I get a solid 3 pounds more every time I do it this way, and it's a lot less work. I mean, I crank it down. It's a little hard sometimes when I get near the end here, get to crank it, but that's when you know you're getting near being done. It just does it by itself. I just gotta sit back.
Best thing I've ever used for as far as filtration were like the jelly strainer bags. Nor makes a jelly strainer and they're thick. You can't see through them. And they come with a little ring that the bag locks around and they're like a little tripod that sets on the bowl and you can dump the shit butter in there and you don't get no weed through there and you can put a good squeeze to that bag, you know what I mean, put on this glove with a good and get a good percentage out of it. That's always the best I've found with my butter, but man, that's I like that. I like that. That's it, actually, but my magic, which ain't no pot like that by any fucking means. The magic butter machine is here.
And it'll probably take me like 3 4 fills to get the stock all run through. And I gotta get through and I gotta clean it out and pick out everything between you run and re-clean it all up. Well, not clean it up, but get all the material out, put it into the bag here. I think I'm down to the burn pile, but gotta make sure your bag is like double bagged with a little cardboard in it and stuff, so you don't have a blowout as I'm walking out of the house with a bag of butter material. That could be such a disaster. The bottom of your bag wears out as you're carrying your wet, buttery pot material outside. Yeah, getting down to the end here. That's about it there.
So, guys,
That's
the Thursday episode will be moving probably to about the 9 o'clock hour for a minute until I can figure out the actual what is going to be done for work and the work schedule there. So I think we'll be safely putting it back up to 9 o'clock on Thursdays. Maybe even mix in just do a daytimer during the weekend sometime instead of because I do like enjoy the daytime episodes. You know what I mean? But real life and all that says 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for a minute. Hopefully Monday through Friday anyway. Just Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Some normalcy. Take it from there.
I'd say it was a weird one. And sneak it in. I actually forgot today was Thursday and agreed to take the one daughter to work. So I was kind of committed. I had to put the show off for a little bit. Shit. All right. We'll go late today. It's nice being able to see the brats, so it's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been this close to all three gals.
It's beautiful.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna jump out of here. I can hear a bunch of quail making noise out in the backyard, so I'm gonna go grab the shotgun and go grocery shopping like a man. So yeah.
Bon
Eagle, fuck
appetit.
you for having us. Joel, it was good to see you. Cat, fuck you for being here, and
Have a
we'll
good
see you guys Monday.
Take care, brother. Cheers.
So good.
Happy hunting.
Yes, Mr. Joel, I think I'm out of here too, man. I gotta get to unpacking,
Yep.
packing.
I'm
But
glad to see you on. I think you get the hot at least. Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here doing this for probably the next hour and a half, making a mess out of myself. But have a good one, man.
you too. I'll keep you informed, man, as the show changes. I'll make sure you know what's up, brother.
Sounds good.
Have a great day.
Later.
With that being said, that wraps up this Thursday episode of the Weed Nerd World. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. Make sure it's from the heart if you're gonna do it. No alternative motives, whatever. For the right reasons, just because it's the right thing to do. With that being said, me and Miss Angel are out of here. We may pop in sometime soon as we get to figuring out what to do. So I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of boredom in the in between. So, Flower, cheers. It's been a while and a pleasure to see you.